Apex.
One clutch from him over on Anubis. Looking for a second 1v2.
Battle of the IGLs as well.
We've got the split the difference play here for Chopper. Staying by the fence, close to it.
Apex takes his first sight line into the site. Nothing home for the time being.
It's interesting because they both have so much agility.
Sure.
Just going to be less useful for Apex to get out. We'll see where he puts the smoke down, though.
First and foremost, bomb. No hesitation, no fake. Onto the ankle, and he catches it. Keep it simple.
He just played it for the fight.
Clutch to clutch.
No util out, man. Had the right read to exactly where Chopper was going to be. And I called that to split the difference because when you're there by the vents, you stop the squeaky option, you can get involved in the A play, you can drop vents a bit slower. It's just the best place to be if you don't have a commitment, you don't know where they're going to go. And by that same token, that's why Apex hard clears it. And I think with this plan, he allowed himself to be able to get to opposite vents, which is another catch-all position.
Right.
He can hold for the squeaky walkout of the cross. He can hold anybody coming in mini.
Well, chat, that was it. Bo was in 6. Apparently, it was 2 rooms in. That sucks. Yeah. My opponent finished with a time of 1:11:18, so GG's to him. Yeah, 2 rooms in. Fuck. I'm gonna hop over and do the post-race interview, so I'll keep the mic open so you guys can hear that.
Which dungeon it is. So you either gamble on 5 and get hit with the power bracelet knowledge, or you get into 8 and you find power bracelet, you feel equally awkward because it's just a bunch of rooms at that point for either a floor silvers or a staircase number 2 silvers. And GG. GM.
Yeah, GG. I'm hearing that the bow is 2 rooms in.
Yeah, it pretty much was.
Yep.
I had full dungeon knowledge. I mean, at that point, because the item in 7 was bow block, so obviously it couldn't be the bow. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Here's
once
the
I
red
saw
candle
the
if you
power
wanted to know.
bracelet. Oh yeah. The red candle was the white sword item.
Or not red candle, excuse me, it was any key that was underneath that Goma. Sorry, I got it mixed up again.
Yeah, I actually, for once, I didn't really have much of a key issue. So
Yeah, I want to say 7 hooked you all up with a lot of keys.
Yeah. Like a lot of
yeah,
early seeds I saw in this were just dungeons eating keys, but then you both got into 7, and that seemed to set you for the rest of it.
yeah. I kind of wish I wouldn't have gone back to 3 several times for the Triforce, but I just kept thinking it's right there. I know exactly where the Triforce is. I kept getting key blocked out of there, but
You check mags at all, or where were you at heart-wise?
I never even saw mags, and I've got like 13 hearts or something.
4 spot 2 or so north of level 6, roughly.
Yep.
No, dude, I didn't even
Literally-
find a candle until I only had like 1 dungeon left to find.
Literally,
so I wasn't
the only thing under the candle that was, I mean, there might have been like secrets and stuff, but
Yeah.
that mags was it. The candle,
Yeah.
completely not required.
Yeah, that's what I once I had my 5 Triforces, like, as long as I keep finding dungeons to dig, I'm not gonna search out a candle. And yeah, it just that's frustrating that I just never routed in the coast, because I usually route in the coast while I'm burning the forest. And
Yeah, and then you never had the candle, so you just, it
Yeah.
totally makes sense. Yeah. I mean, the plays you made perfect sense. Digging deep into 8, like that was your best chance, was finding those silvers in 8.
Yeah.
And for a moment, it looked like you had a pretty good. I mean, you kept it close by doing that. Like, for a moment, you had a shot. It just really came down to how quickly was Fury going to find those silvers when he got back into 8. Fury, I got to ask you though.
You didn't
Yeah, go
find
ahead.
silver's first trip in?
I just ignored 8 when I got stuck in a room. I think it was the room before it. I think you had to click. Well, maybe 2 rooms before, but it was that silly
that-
6 room with the traps.
Yeah, and so you had to because I was like, well, the game will never require you to clip through this, so there's got to be a workaround.
Yeah,
I'll be
I think
honest.
it
When I saw those silvers, my heart just dropped, because that was almost the last thing I wanted to see. I'd already made my mind up that I was just going to gamble on silvers and 9, and I wanted to see the bow, and I saw the silver, and I was like, oh god, that means I have to keep digging this awful dungeon.
Yeah.
That's
That
funny, but
was-
yeah, I always want to find silvers for bow in these.
Yeah, that was the last item outside of Power Bracelet I needed to find, essentially the full item every single dungeon.
Nope.
So
that
was deep in 8.
So I got a question for you, Fury. When you found the book in level 5, I don't think it had any use for you. Did you consider not picking it up?
I just went ahead and grabbed it because there's still stuff across the water that could have implied, or a recorder or something, so I would know whether or not I needed to focus on a specific pathing in 8 when I got there. That was about the only
Gotcha.
use it was going to have.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't even think about that. I thought, it's like, you already knew where all the things were in 9, so it wasn't going to help you out in 9. You already, and once you picked the book out of 5, then you knew the silvers were going to be in 8. So just at that point, the use just was pretty minimal. But yeah, that makes sense.
I figured
somebody got
the
into
time
9
loss.
pretty early.
Oh yeah, I think 51 minutes ish.
Gotcha.
It was if you hadn't been in there yet,
No.
it's bad.
Yeah,
It's
no,
Wizrobe Lionel.
Wiz robes, yeah, Wiz
Oh, Lord.
Lionels, yeah.
And
And
the
the
way
items.
that I have to Ganon is through a 8 blue Lionel, I think, maybe 6, but there's a lot of blue Lionels in the Diamond Staircase and the Shutter Door North. That was really the only way to get there. There wasn't a lot of bad Wizrobe rooms in 9. There's one silly like push block early on that was bad, but
And
I
then
don't know.
there was the one up in the northwest where the single block that you cleared that was nothing. That was I'm sure great.
Oh yeah, that was an awful
Yeah.
looking room.
Yep.
Yeah, Red Ring and Magical Boomerang are roughly northeast-ish, central northeast-ish of the level 9, but you have to go down to the southeast corner to take a staircase up
Yep.
there and then go left and then find a magic bomb wall or find whatever in the world was guarding that map. That was your only way to find that spot.
We
So I never
found a
saw
map.
mags, and I also never saw a blue ring shop, or I would have totally bought a blue ring because I
Blue Ring
was
is
struggling.
one left of your start. It's on Candle Row, so there's one there, and then there's another one. I want to say Death Armos is another screen, maybe. No, it was. There's at least 3 or 4. I saw one in Death Mountain and one on Candle Row for sure.
Maybe I did all of Death Mountain, so maybe I did see one and just didn't register it.
Or maybe we just didn't have the money for it because, like,
Yeah,
I mean, the big secrets were good enough, and I think you both eventually got to all of them, but the just finding that blue ring shop in the middle of nowhere without the money to pay for it. Makes
It was
hard.
definitely
Sure.
up and down money wise.
Yep.
Shoutouts to the gambling game.
Yeah, yeah, that was what was the second try on the money to get your arrows.
Yeah, I was out of money because I wasn't finding large secrets for a long time. I invested in a potion early, and that kind of hurt, I guess, because I couldn't get the arrows. So then started gambling games, saw the plus 74 sitting in there, missed it the first time, got lucky the second time a little bit. But it's really only a matter of time if it's on your start screen, which is where the gambling game was.
see, I never even burned any of that. The only thing that I used the candle for was Dead Woods, and that was just because I routed it like in coming off of Death Mountain, basically. I
Now,
think that was
now,
how I did it.
Dem,
Where'd you go early?
You saw hint shops though, right? Did you?
I did see hint shops, and I kept thinking I should just up a save and go buy those hints and see if there's one for the bow.
Mhm.
But it just, I mean, you know how it is. Once the race room hits an hour and your opponent has a finish set, you've got one eye on the race room and one eye on the
For sure.
game, and yeah, you're just like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I would have been hoping for if in your situation, was something to tell me not to go into 6. Of course, if
Yeah.
it said anything about 6, it would have been go into 6, right?
Yeah, the only
but
thing
yeah.
that helped me was there was actually a hint in 8. One of the old men in
Yes.
8 said, Goma creeps along the coast. So
Yes.
as soon as I saw the power bracelet in 8, I was like, oh, beeline for the coast. I kind of
Yeah,
had to
and
stop
that-
because I was like, is that, I couldn't remember if that push block in Lost Hills was along the
Yeah,
coast or not.
that's considered. It's a confusing one because it is now considered Lost Hills, but I think at one point it was considered coast. I think it was changed just to weigh it a little bit better. Make it a little more even because a lot of I've said this before. A lot of the areas don't really fit their areas, but it makes things more even. The best example being the desert would have 3 second quest only spots if we only literally said desert, So I
Yep.
mean, it works out pretty evenly.
Yeah, what'd your early route look like? You go northeast pretty quickly?
Yeah, I got into 3 and found the white sword on the floor at like 2 minutes in. 3 minutes and 30
Yeah, so-
seconds I had the white sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had it ahead of me, but we both essentially made the same route once I did some silly stuff in the west first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two were in lockstep until then Fury went left and found 9, and then you split off from there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, as soon as I found that ladder in 4, I'm just all about getting those free items, and so I was like, I want that coast item, whatever it is, because if I go down there and it's a
Yep.
red ring, that's a huge thing for me.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, I mean, Fury's good enough that he doesn't need a ring, but for me, that's like the great equalizer, because then I wouldn't have taken 10 deaths. It's like,
Would have been nicer in 9.
yeah.
Like if I had found it before, like the last thing I found, essentially.
Yeah.
So I think I was deathless until that 9, and then I was chugging potions and getting beat up really bad in 9.
Yeah, the thing I found funny about that level 3 is that you walk in, you get a bomb pack, which, when I'm doing these early swordless digs, getting a free bomb pack, I'm excited, especially in that area where you've got like a bunch of bomb spots. And then you walk in the next room and then there's another bomb pack. So you've got 8 bombs. And then in the next room was the white sword. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I felt real good at that point. I was like, I really hope that Fury went left, that, went to the west side of the map. And then, because then also the wood sword was at 1Q5 at the top of Lost Hills. So I was like, if he went west, he might not have even got his wood sword for quite a while. And I was like, but yeah.
I did the weird kind of vanilla one into the rogue Death Mountain spot into like the grave, open caves, Armos, and level 5's location, this one. But then after that, I think I checked the Death Armos and then decided I want to go off to the east because that's the next round of Armos that you can go find, and there's open caves if I don't find something that gives me combat. Yeah, the early white sword into early wand had a little bit of key trouble, probably same as you, and I think went back to 3 once I got the keys up to at least 3 or 4, just so I could get that Triforce in case. Well, I think I found 9 and realized that I was going to basically be able to get in at 5, and wanted to make sure I had some to work with because you never know where Triforces are going to be. I worked all the way up in 6 to the room before the Triforce, thanks to the compass, and it's old man guarded, can't bomb out of that room, so I had to give up on that. I got deep into 1, bow and arrows both required for that one. Got trapped in 7 next to a blue. I got a blue Wizrobe shutter door room, 2 rooms away from the Triforce, hoping that there was an item in there. And
so rude.
So I got both of you.
Yeah, so I just kept trying to find, Triforces in other dungeons, and I gave up on 1s in the end and just ended up digging the 1 out of 5 because I was like, well, I kind of want to get the item out of here just to eliminate that, because if it's not the raft, then it's 66%. Otherwise, it's 50-50. Or not raft, power bracelet. But yeah, 50-50 if it's
There was an interesting moment that had me a little bit confused, Fury, when you were in level 7 and there's the bomb upgrade, and then there was a room, an open door to your right that you never went in. And, we thought for all the world that was going to be the item, forgetting about the Goma. And then when Dem checked it out later, we're like, oh yeah, it's the Goma. Is there a reason why you didn't go into that room? just didn't even think about it, just didn't realize? I mean, it was just weird.
I could take a look. I thought I cleared everything except for the Goma blocked one, but it's possible.
Yeah,
I know there was back side by side old men in there. I believe. No, there's a dark room on the left.
Yep, that's
and
right.
Bomb upgrade.
The bomb
I
upgrade.
thought I went into the room to the right and saw nothing of note in there, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and I could have missed it that you going in there. It turned out to be a pointless moat, which was not, as you know, is not going to drop in level 7, so it was pretty pointless.
Yeah. That, and I already had the floor item, I think, at that point, so it was just like, nope, this isn't the staircase, gone.
Yep. Yeah, there was a heart relatively early, I want to say, in that level 7. That level 7 was just, it was a pretty small 7, which, makes sense because we had a huge 8.
Yeah, it was just like it was a like non-segmented dungeon because you couldn't get through that old man to get to the Triforce.
Yep, that's right, which made it that much more difficult. And I kind of liked the way, I even said you all should have left the Triforce in 3, and then if you needed it, get it right before 9 for the free refill. But it's not a huge deal.
If I would have knew that well, I hadn't found 9 at that point yet, but also if I would have known that the recorder was the coast item, you could just record her back to 2 and get it real quick.
Yeah, that's true. When you went back into 3, Dem, I don't think you'd seen 9. Fury went back into 3 after seeing 9, but it wasn't that deep a Triforce. You knew where it was. It just a matter of spending a couple keys. It's unfortunate for you, Dem. It's like you spend the key and then get plocked again.
Yeah. I spent the key, then it was couldn't get. Yeah, that was honestly, I feel like that was probably like my only real bad decision. Obviously looking back on it, I shouldn't have dug 8, but at the time it was like 50-50. I have 1 item left in 8, or I have to go find level 6 and dig the item out. But the only regret I really have is that Triforce in 6, or in 3, just because I saw so many other Triforces along the way that I walked past.
Yeah.
I'm like, I already have my 5 Triforces. You know, I
Yep.
could have easily gotten a 5th Triforce elsewhere.
All right. So that's gonna, yeah. So that's means for you, Dim. I know you'll be doing more commentary, but that's otherwise that's the end of the tournament for you. Thoughts about it?
I really, I was really apprehensive at first because I was not doing well with this flag set and practice leading up to it. So I'm just ecstatic that I made the upper bracket. This is my first tournament that I've done besides my rookie rumble 2 years ago.
Sure.
So to qualify for the championship bracket, you know, I'm just happy about that. And to be honest, I'm almost kind of relieved that it's over because I've been just stressing so much about, you know, every week. So now I can just relax, watch everybody else play, and do my commentary thing behind the scenes. And I honestly might take a little break from Z1R. I'm starting to get a little burned out. Maybe just do like seed of the week or something, and maybe
Yeah,
start
that's
learning
not
a new
uncommon
game.
at the end of tournaments. But yeah, congratulations for making as far as you did. Yeah.
Thank you. And,
And
GG
Fury.
Fury.
Moving on. Let's. I should have brought this up. Do you know
Someone
who
that
you are?
loves, yeah, it's someone that loves rolling trolley seeds. You should be able to figure it out from there. I think
It sounds like a Jess Andy.
it is.
Are you gonna let her? Are you gonna let her roll her own seed in that race?
Yeah, sure. She can have it. But yeah, again, GG's to DM, and thanks for helping out a lot this week on commentary. Me and you and a whole bunch of other people were basically on there every night working hard, including other people in the booth now. So definitely got a lot of races aired that may or may not have made it if the same group couldn't just keep going and chugging through them. And thanks for being willing to work out a Saturday race so we get out of the way of a lot of the heavy Monday through Wednesday, and in this case Thursday crowd.
Yeah.
I feel like we should thank you for helping us out as well, because I know you've like solo crewed a race just to get it on the air as well.
Yeah, everybody does their part.
I think I think all the Hyrule bracket races have been restreamed. I think only like maybe 2 or 3 as a lower bracket, which considering how many races are in this first week, that's pretty good. I think we've done well, but yeah, it's yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody. First of all, thank our runners. If you're not already following them, go ahead and hit that follow button. I assume it's yep. There we go. Thank you, Smile. And then we do have another race going on right now over on Speed Gaming 4. They are not done yet. That is the J. Coper Jam Evil race, which is a good old school matchup between 2 old school players. So I know I'm going to be tuning in over there in just a second. And of course, want to thank everybody, Smile Fires, for not only doing the commentary with me, but doing all the restreaming and setting us up. And of course, Chaos Finale, doing the tracking. So we have double MVPs because we got a tracker and a restreamer. Thank you to both of you.
Every time I do that, I just hope the sound is okay, because not as easy to listen to it.
Yeah, I think I didn't see any complaints, so I think we did okay. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. Head on over to Speed Gaming 4, catch the end of that race, and we'll see you at the... I should actually see what else is on. There is other races on, but not for a little bit. But yeah, go ahead and head on over there. And we have... Speed Gaming 3, we have a low roll matchup, a second round matchup between BBQ and Hio 24. That'll be at 8 o'clock over on Speed Gaming 3. So yeah, we'll see you there. And yeah, let's go all head on over to Speed Gaming 4 and catch the end of that race. See you all later.
See ya.
All right. And with that, we are off the air. So thank you guys for hanging out tonight, cheering me on. Sorry I couldn't bring home the win. You basically heard the post race interview, though. I mean, he was in level 9 at 50 minutes in. So I couldn't find that level 6. I couldn't find that bow. Apparently, he found the bow early, but couldn't find silvers. And I had silvers, but couldn't find the bow. It is what it is. I mean, I was the 63 seed going up against the 2 seed, so I didn't really expect to win. I'm actually kind of glad that I kept it as close as I did. And if the bow really was only 2 rooms in, then I was maybe only about 10 minutes behind. I would have just had to get up to level 9. Now it sounds like level 9 was a doozy with Wizrobes and Lionel, the Wizrobe Lionel enemy set. But yeah, anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream for tonight. And I don't know if it's still daylight out. I might go outside because it's like a gorgeous day. And I'd like to get outside again. So I will catch you guys later. Probably, like you guys heard me say, I might be taking a little break from Z1R for a little bit and just doing commentary up behind the scenes for the rest of the tournament. And I don't know, maybe I'll try to learn something else. I really want to get into like Link to the Past or something like that. But we'll see. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a great rest of your weekend.